Planet 11. Bellum. The people are called Bellings in the galaxy of bells. They make clocks and bells. I got on Bellum this morning. We come into the bus station just as the sun come up. What a sight. I got off the space bus and looked around some. All I see was a lot of buildings and train tracks. I wonder what the train tracks are for and why do they lead here? I walked over to the space bus office and went up to the window and said, "What are the train tracks for and where do they go?" The woman behind the counter said, "The train tracks come from the plant where they make all the bells and great big clocks." I said, "They have to be big ones to need train tracks to bring them here." She said, "Almost every day the train comes here and they offload 100 bells and clocks." I said, "It must be something special to watch them unload one of the big clocks or one of the big bells onto a spacecraft to be delivered." She said, "Sometimes it is quite something." I said, "Could you got me a taxi and tell me where a Wisha hotel is?" She said, "A taxi comes here every 15 minutes to drop off someone, so all you will have to wait, and there's a Wisha hotel just 2 blocks down that street." I said, "Thank you." I went out and waited for a taxi, and just as I said that to myself, one pulled up. I waited until the ones that was in the taxi to get, and then I said, "If you are not busy, can we go for a ride around the city and see what it is like?" The taxi driver said, "It will cost you and I want cash up front." I said, "I am a reporter from the Wish newspaper, and if you treat me right I will recommend your taxi to everyone that comes to this planet." The taxi driver said, "You would do that for me?" I said, "Sure I would if you treat me right and show me everything there is to know about the planet." The taxi driver said then, "Well, get right in and I will show you some things no one knows about that lived on this planet all their lives." I said, "Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go." The taxi pulled out and I was on my way. We went by a building that was so big that from the taxi I could not see the top. Just then the taxi driver said, "This building is where they make the big bells and the big clocks. Some of the bells they make are 30 feet across and 50 feet tall. When they pour one of the bells it takes them almost 2 hours just to pour one. It takes them 12 hours to heat enough metal just to pour one. It is something to watch them." I said, "It must be." The taxi driver said, "It takes a week just for the metal to cool enough so they can break it open and take out the bell. Then it takes them 2 days to cut the bell out. If the bell did not come out right it goes back in the soup and they try again. That is why the bells are high-priced. They take the big bells and the big clocks on the railroad tracks to the space bus station, and from there they take it to where it has to go. What a thing to watch when they move one of the big bells to space bus station. Now over there in that building is where all the small bells and small clocks are made. In that building is where gun parts are made and sent to Sorsa to be put together." I said, "Though on Sorsa they make their own parts." The taxicab driver said, "Everyone thinks that." I said, "So that is the secret of Bellum, isn't it?" The taxicab driver said, "You have that one right, and with the foundry here on this planet you will be surprised what is made here and sent somewhere else." I said, "Almost everything that is poured out of metal is made here on Bellum." He said, "It sure is. Almost every made here goes somewhere and they put it together somewhere else. Nothing is put together here at all except some of the big bells. They put the ball in so the bell will ring." I said, "I have seen enough, and will you take me back to the space bus station so I can catch the next bus going out?" He said, "Sure," and turned around and headed back to the station. When we got back I paid him and got on the space bus and waited to leave. Written by Jack Wisha for the Wisha newspaper.